The conversation about what to use to mordant or pre-treat fabrics before dyeing with natural plant dyes is one that will be ongoing. It is understandably one of the regular questions that come up in terms of dyeing with natural plant dyes. In this video, I'll share with you the simple steps that I take to prepare cellulose fibers for dyeing with natural plant dyes. The first thing that I do is dissolve some alum powder in boiling hot water. Next, I'm going to add my fabric pieces to this pot and then pour some hot water over the pieces before adding the alum solution. So this is just the extra water that I boiled to make the alum solution. Now, if I were to do this in my tall stainless steel pot, I'd use about 6 to 8 cups of water, but I'm just using a smaller pot here, so it's not as much water. This might be about 3 or 4 cups. Because this water is so hot, I can't handle it with my hands like I would like to do and the way that I normally would do. I'm very hands-on with the dyeing process, but I'll let it cool down some and I'll be able to go back in there and make sure that the water and alum are evenly distributed throughout the pieces. If the pot were bigger and there were more water, it would be easier to do that. So next up, you will need something that's high in tannin. So I'll be using avocado seeds. People use different things. Oat galls. I've also used noni fruit, the seeds from the noni plant. Those are high in tannin. So anything that's high in tannin. And I just boil the seeds. They will give this pink color. But you'll see what the pre-treatment of this fabric with alum does to the avocado seed dye. This is a day and a half later. We got really busy and I wasn't able to get back to it sooner than now, but as you can see, once it cooled down, the color is more neutral, and that's the influence of the alum powder. So the fabric didn't come out pink like it normally would if I hadn't used alum. And these are the 2 pieces that I pre-treated. I'm going to go ahead and use these right away, but you can also hang them up after rinsing and let them dry to use for later. Just make sure you label them so you'll know that you did pre-treat the fabrics and don't get them mixed up with others that maybe you did not. And in these next clips, I'll be repeating the process that I did in my previous video, and now I'm just going to be testing out these fabrics to see how they do with the mordant versus fabrics that don't have any tannin or alum pre-treatment. So I'm just going through these steps again like the previous video, and then I'll be rinsing the fabrics to see what the outcome is. And by the way, I will put the steps to the mordanting process in the description for this video, so you can find it there. I'm simply hand rinsing these with water because I know from experience that the color will not last if these pieces are put through a washing machine. And here are the results after rinsing the fabrics. I'm just pointing out as a reminder to myself right here what was used on each fabric, but essentially it seems to me that the Mordant with tannin and alum did have a positive impact on color retention. The two middle pieces were the mordanted pieces, and you can see that the color remained pretty well after rinsing. The one on the right outside, the color kind of rinsed out mostly, and the one on the left did pretty well, also without mordant. So now these are how the fabrics look after drying, and that's the thing about using cotton. They will be lighter. Cotton as well as other cellulose fibers, once they dry, the color may look different. It may be lighter on the fabric than it was when you initially applied the color or the plant material. So that's something to keep in mind. I went through this pretty quickly. If I had spent more time applying color, maybe it would have been a little bit darker when it dried. But my main purpose for the video was to show you the basic way that I pre-treat fabric before dyeing it. And that's using a loom and some source of tannin. I think that works really well, particularly with cellulose fibers. So please let me know if you have any questions or input in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.